chapter 11 and chapter 12 kind of go hand in hand, which is why I wanted to go over them together. Um, chapter 11, we really see the monster and how his life kind of unfolds. He begins his account of things he's learning. Um, Soon a gentle light stole over the heavens. It gave me a sensation of pleasure. I started up and beheld a radiant form rise among the trees. It moved slowly but enlightened my path. Um, so we kind of see this illuminating light, with the lightning, and this is referring to the moon. So we see these things kind of happen. It was dark when I awoke. I felt cold also and half frightened, as it were, instinctively, finding myself so desolate. But before I had quitted your apartment on a sensation of cold, I had covered myself with some clothes. So the monster's beginning to feel both cold and hot. He's starting to present these sensations he's feeling. Um, he begins telling of the story of creation. We kind of talked about Paradise Lost. He's experiencing the whole world around him: light, dark, cold, hot, hunger, thirst. He is very much portrayed as this innocent child. So if we go back to our themes of romanticism, um, we see this same feature. Innocence, the magnificent of children, mortality, human spirit. So if you think about it, in a way, the monster is kind of like a newborn baby. Newborn baby comes out and immediately the baby starts crying. The baby's crying because it's never experienced these emotions before. It's never experienced this cold or this hot or hunger or thirst. And it sees light for the first time. So he's kind of just like a newborn baby. Um, we know Victor is a scientist, and the monster starts to discover fire. He's discovering all of these new things. Um, Sound, fire, beauty, happiness, love. He discovers this when he meets the DeLacy family. Now, the family and the monster don't really have that much of an interaction, but the DeLacy family lives in a cottage in the woods, and they're considered this very idyllic family. They love to farm, they love each other. Um, they enjoy nature. They're very plain, which is Shelley's idea of the perfect life. Now, the monster is gazing through a crack in the wall at their cottage. Um, and there's kind of a sense of dramatic irony in a way, because we know the villagers have treated the creature in a poor way because of his appearance. However, he hasn't seen himself yet. So that's going to change in this chapter, because he's this innocent child trying to make sense of why people are treating him so harshly, and he kind of realizes this in this chapter. Um, Now, looking back at the DeLacy family, I want to kind of show you how they're all connected. So we have DeLacy, and he is the father, and his daughter is Agatha, and his son is Felix. Now, Felix and Agatha um, are are very interested in the farm life. They're raised in this plain life. Then we have Safi. Now, Safi's dad is the Turk and the oppressed wife. So we don't know their names, but the mom was imprisoned by Turks. She was raised Arab. So she's already lived this harsh type of life, and we see the results of that in them trying to live out this very delicate and plain life. Now, when the monster finally sees himself, is when he realizes what's going on and why this is happening to him. Um, I, I viewed myself in a transparent pool at first. I started back, unable to believe that it was indeed I who was reflected in the mirror, when I became fully convinced that I was in reality the monster that I am. I was filled with the bitterest sensation of despondency and mortification. Alas, I did not entirely know the fatal effects of this miserable deformity. So, appearance and reality kind of take a play in this. The creature takes a moment of mental reflection by labeling himself as the monster. So he's already, like, in this way, responding to pain as a child does. If you were to knock a toddler's tower over, they might cry, right? So it's the same type of response to pain or response to something they don't like. Now, the DeLacy family is interesting. They have minimal interaction with him. Um, but the family and the monster, though they have minimum interaction with the monster, they play a major role in the monster's development as a character because as he's learning language, as he's learning about himself, um, he begins to see the cottagers and the eloquence they have, and how he wants to really restore happiness in his life, in others' life. Um, by the end here, we kind of see what's going on with the creature and with man. He's abandoned by his creator. He frightens the old man while eating breakfast. He runs away. He finds a village, frightens children, women faint. So people are scared of his appearance. So going back to this inner and outer beauty, both Elizabeth had both inner and outer beauty. Does the monster? Does he only have inner beauty? So we'll kind of discuss that in the later chapters.